Welcome to Haaretz.com. I'm Aimee Amiga. Argentine prosecutor Alberto Nisman died last month, the night before he was to detail allegations that the government had covered up Iran's involvement in a 1994 terror attack. The attack on a Jewish community centre in Buenos Aires left 85 people dead. After breaking the story of Nisman's death, journalist Damian Pachter fled Argentina to Israel, fearing for his life. He joins me today for an exclusive interview. Thanks for joining us, Damian.
Thank you for inviting me.
Damian, you said that when you left Argentina, you didn't even have time to pack a suitcase.
Exactly.
Why were you in such a rush?
Well, I was pursued by intelligence officers, at least one. So when I realized that, I just really quick decided I need to leave the country as fast as I can.
Why do you think they were following you? I mean, what information did you have that you think the intelligence agencies want?
All right. When I worked the news over the death of the attorney, it became a big thing in Argentina. Everyone spoke for it for days. Even now, they're still talking about it, and everybody wants to know who was my source. However, what I think that happened is something happened when I tweet that. I don't know what, I don't know exactly by who, but something changed. Maybe nobody expected that, and that's what made. Well, I actually think they were trying to build a suicide scenario in the crime scene. So what happened is, I think my tweet took them for surprise.
What exactly was written in the tweet?
I just report that there has been an incident in the attorney's house, and after that, I report that he was found on his bathroom over a pool of blood without breathing, and that the medics are working there.
Okay, so why do you think that was so alarming? I mean, don't you think the intelligence agencies knew that the media would eventually find out that he had died?
But maybe it happened before they planned to.
In what sense?
In the sense that it took them by surprise. Maybe they planned to do it after. Maybe they were working on something. If you remember, the first hypothesis was a suicide, a supposed suicide. After that, the head of state changed the version and said it was by a third party. Mm-hmm. So we had two official stories in 2 days. So I think what I did changed something in the original planning. I don't know who exactly did that, but I think something changed with my tweet.
How can you be sure that the Argentine intelligence services were after you? I mean, perhaps you're just a bit paranoid.
Yeah, I understand. Totally understand that point of view. Well, the thing is that first, my source, we recognize one of them, and we know for sure we had an intel officer next to me.
Okay, how can you be sure?
Because we checked that up, and my source know who he was. Mm-hmm. And in second place, you should remember that the Argentine government published through their official Twitter account the details of my flight when I was still flying.
Why do you think they did that?
A message? Some kind of message. It's like the White House, the official Twitter account of the White House would publish the details of a flight of a US citizen. That's exactly what happened in Argentina. The Casa Rosada, the pink house, which is the government house, published in their Twitter account the details of my flight.
You think it was a message to...
Exactly. Another one, yeah.
Can you describe to me the situation the moment you realized you were being followed?
Yes. I was sitting in a coffee in a gas station, and I was sitting there for a few hours. My source, he didn't know where I was. He knew after when he called me. But meanwhile, I was sitting there, and after 2 hours, more or less, a very suspicious guy came in, and I, as a journalist, he just got my attention. He was wearing Ray-Ban sunglasses and blue jeans and a blue jacket made of jeans as well. So he said, at first, he sat next to me, like one table next to me. and I knew that there was something wrong there, and I was aware of his presence, but I remember where I was. And I didn't know at that time who he was.
Okay.
After a few moments, my source called and came, and he asked me, "Do you know you have an intel officer beside your back?" And I told him, "Who? The one with the blue jeans?" And he said, "Yeah." And that was the moment. I don't even turn myself to look at him. That's because when he entered to the place, I already kind of studied him. He was suspicious, and I'd have his.
How did your source know that was an intelligence agent?
Well, let's just say that he's somebody who knows about that kind of stuff.
Okay. Do you think there's any risk now posed to him now that this so-called this intelligence agent has seen him with you, and now you're saying that's your source? Do you think that you may have accidentally or unwittingly revealed your source to the intelligence agents?
Well, the intel officer was there, so he saw with who I was. So there's no way for me to. I'm just trying to protect myself as much as I can. That's it.
Yeah.
But because people ask me how I know that I was pursued, okay, that was an important part of that. And what happened with the Twitter account of the government house when they published my flight details, that was like, okay, that was the confirmation that I was right. And it was not just Damian being paranoid.
Why do you think the president, who initially referred to his death as a suicide, later changed her tune and said that, well, actually she said that people had fed him lies and then wanted him dead.
Yeah.
Why do you think she changed her story then?
Because the government couldn't support the suicide hypothesis anymore by the facts that the scientific police and the scientific workers that worked there, the evidence couldn't support the fact that he committed suicide.
She said that people had fed him lies. Do you think there's anything to that claim?
Well, what she meant by saying that it's that the intelligence officers and the intelligence body in Argentina fed him with false information, which he used for his case. However, when an attorney works, he gathers. That's his job, to gather information in order to present it to fill it before the judge. So he gathered a lot of information, and the only thing that the one who opposes can do is just to blame the messenger. So we need to remember that in Nisman's accusation, he blamed the head of state, her foreign minister, one national lawmaker, and 2 social activists of covering up the attack. So you will expect an attack against the attorney from the government side. Am I making myself clear?
Absolutely. So you're saying that you believe the president was involved in his death?
Well, I can guarantee that, and I can confirm that neither, because I don't have the facts to support that. We should remember too that Nisman was investigating the AMIA attack, which has never been solved so far. And 2 years before that, before the AMIA bombing in 1992, the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires exploded as well. So we have 3 different episodes with some kind of weird connection between them. Nobody of them got solved. Not the Buenos Aires, the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires, neither the AMIA attack, and so far nobody knows who or what happened to Nisman.
Do you know if he created any enemies during his investigation?
Yes, of course.
Who?
Well, I don't know exactly who, but we need to understand that we are talking about really important interests. We are talking about the investigation of a terrorist attack, which possibly have a local connection as well. So there are factors who are not interested in put the truth and share light into the case.
Like who, for example, like specifically?
Well, maybe there's something happening inside the intelligence force.
Okay, like what? I mean...
okay, well, you might have 2 lines inside there, one which supports restarting negotiations and trade negotiations and trade relations with Iran and other Arab countries, and you have a Western one which supports Western countries like USA or more close to Israel. At least that's what publicly is known.
Yeah.
So a few weeks before Nisman's death, the head of state dismissed the number 1 and number 2 of the Argentine intelligence service. Mm-hmm. Some believe it has to do with some kind of revenge. I don't know. I can confirm that. I'm not that deep into that, but it's pretty clear that there are different parts that are fighting, and they are in tension with each other to gain control of things.
Tell me, Damian, on a lighter note, how come you chose to come to Israel after you left Argentina?
I made Aliyah when I was 11 years old with my mother.
Uh-huh.
So I lived here for 10 years. I've been in the military service in the IDF, and I have all my friends here, despite the fact that I don't have family here. I have my friends, and that's enough.
Do you feel safer in Israel?
Yeah, of course.
Do you think you go back to Argentina?
No, I won't.
Never?
At least not for now.
What would have to change then for you to be willing to go back?
First, another government, and second, sources of mine to confirm that it's safe for me to go back there.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Damian Pachter.
Thank you, Aimee.
I'm Aimee Amiga, and you're on Haaretz.com.